Join Potato Club today and too sweet that subscribe button.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my Elimination Chamber 2018 review. All in all, pretty fun show. Wouldn't say it was the best show of the year or anything like that. It was fairly decent. There was some big cons in the show and a couple of good pros. So I'm gonna go through it match by match and explain what I thought of the show. So first off, I predicted everything correctly. In my predictions video, I predicted the 4 matches and I got all 4 correct. I didn't particularly want to be 100% correct, to be honest, especially with the men's Elimination Chamber. I'm kind of disappointed that I was correct. But there you go. We're going to get into that when I get to it. So let's get through the show. So there was a couple of matches added onto the show that weren't there when I predicted. So we had a pre-show match of the Club versus the Miztourage. Nothing special. The Club won, so... And the Revival were watching on backstage monitors, and they were back and forth with each other, and it wasn't anything to write home about, so... And then the proper Elimination Chamber show started with the Women's Elimination Chamber, which I thought was actually really, really good. I think I might have preferred it to the men's one. I think it was one of the better Elimination Chambers. And they went all out. They used the chamber to their best. They made the most out of the stipulation. So kudos to the women. I think it was a very good match. Alexa won, quite predictably. And even more... and me being humble again, I predicted the order of elimination. So if you watch my predictions video, I at the beginning of the match, or my reaction video, sorry, not predictions. When I reacted to the pay-per-view, at the beginning of the match, I rated from 1 to 6 who I thought was most likely to win. First, most likely to win was Alexa, and least likely to win was Mandy Rose. And in order, 6th place, 5th place, 4th place, they got eliminated from bottom up. I think Alexa's going to win. That's my bet. But then I think second most likely is Sasha, then Bailey, then 4th will be Mickey, then Sonya, then Mandy. So Mandy, sorry, you're least likely to win this. So I predicted the order from most likely to least likely. I predicted correctly because the most likely ones were in it at the end, and the least likely ones are out first. So quite funny. I thought it was quite funny. I thought it was interesting. But I'm just saying, if I put that in the predictions, it might have been a bit more of an interesting prediction video. So it was a good chamber match. We had Absolution teaming up at the beginning, beating up Bailey, tying her up in the chains, throwing her around. Sonya Deville's spear on Bailey was stiff. It looked nasty. It was pretty cool. Absolution looking really good, looking quite strong until they both got eliminated. So Mandy got eliminated by Sasha with a bank statement, and then Sonya got eliminated by Mickie James, who jumped off the top of a pod with a Lufez press of all things. She jumped off the pod and just knocked her, and that was it. And then from that, Bailey eliminated Mickie, I think. Yeah, with a Bailey's belly, eliminated Mickie. So it was like 3 quick eliminations, sort of. And then that just left Sasha and Bailey in the ring and Alexa in the pod, which is interesting. So basically, Alexa was last in the match, and she only had to deal with 2 people. There's a 6-woman match, and 3 of them were eliminated before Alexa even entered the matchup, which I thought was really interesting take on it. I don't think that's happened very often in Elimination Chambers. Usually, eliminations they usually have 1 or 2 eliminations, but not half the field gone before the last person enters. I don't think that's happened very often, so I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen very often in Elimination Chambers, so I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, Alexa running away from Sasha and Bailey, climbing up the pod, climbing across the pod, climbing up to another pod, and eventually Alexa Bliss and Sasha are fighting on top of the pod. Bailey's climbing up, and then Bailey gets kicked off by Sasha. Sasha betrays Bailey, kicks her off the top of the pod. Very Lion King, very random obscure reference there. Scar from the Lion King throwing Mufasa off. Long live the king, just chucks him off the cliff. Very similar to that. but wrestling style. So that was interesting. I actually said that in my reactions, and then I found a video from wrestling memes of that exact thing. They put that audio over that clip, so brilliant. If you can find that, brilliant. So yeah, we got some great stuff. We had Alexa Bliss doing a Twisted Bliss off the top of a pod, but then it got reversed into a bank statement, which just it seemed like it lasted forever, where I really thought Alexa was going to tap for a while. And then Alexa eventually got out of it and turned it into a top rope DDT, draping over the... banging Sasha's head onto the pod, and then turning her around and then DDTing her off the top rope, like Randy Orton's draping DDT on the middle rope. She did that on the top rope and knocked her clean out, and that was it. And then Alexa retained. She had a face promo at the end where she's like, "Dreams do happen. You can believe in yourself, children. You can do it. You can be anything you want. You can win Elimination Chambers." And then goes, "No, you can't, because I'm a heel. Screw you. La la la." So she was face for about 5 seconds and then turned heel again. Interesting promo. I was a bit like, no, don't turn face. I was worried that she was turning face for a second, but then she turned it on his head, so it was good. It was a good promo. Yeah, so the Women's Elimination Chamber was worth watching. It was a very good match. And then we get to like the middle of the show, which wasn't my favourite, I'm not going to lie. So we had The Bar versus Titus O'Neil, and Titus Worldwide. Titus Worldwide have won on Raw twice with roll-ups. So of course, when the title's on the line, The Bar's going to retain, because that's just how wrestling works, 50-50 booking and all that stuff. And the champions only win when the championship's on the line. So, not all the time, but that is a trope that happens quite a lot in wrestling. So, yeah, not the best of matches. And we had Nia versus Asuka. It was an interesting match. It was essentially Nia squashing Asuka for about 75% of the match. Asuka getting a fluky roll-up from a Hurricane Rana into a pin. And then Asuka winning, technically. And then Nia going crazy. Pushing B, Irish whipping her into the corner of the ring, of the arena. Then pushing RB and Y to do an Omo Gone moment, and then putting her through the barricade. So she had a special saved up, and obviously Asuka forgot to push RT at time to reverse. So there you go. So basically Nia looking strong, Asuka winning technically. So Nia had the moral victory, even though she was kind of the heel about it. So cool. Then we had Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. Interesting match. We had teleportation at the beginning. They were both teleporting around, all this stuff. Matt Hardy channeling his inner Obi-Wan and becoming more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Where he was in the ring and then suddenly he was just his jacket on the floor, like he's been destroyed, and he was struck down by Bray Wyatt and became more powerful than you could possibly imagine. And then it was just a normal match after that, really. Matt Hardy won. Cool. Let's just hope it goes to a final deletion kind of compound kind of match at WrestleMania. Please do that. And then we had Ronda Rousey. Woo! I really enjoyed this segment. I thought it was really funny. It was a really good segment. I thought, anyway. You could tell Ronda was really nervous because it was the first promo, and you could see that she was very nervous. But it was still, the segment was really entertaining. Kurt being a snitch and telling Ronda what Triple H and Stephanie had been saying behind their back, and then them teasing Ronda and Triple H face to face. That was a really cool moment. And then Ronda putting Triple H through the table, Stephanie slapping Ronda, and then my favorite bit of the night, the thing that made me laugh the most. After Stephanie slapped Ronda in the face, the crowd chanting, "You fucked up, you fucked up, you fucked up." Best chant ever. We rarely get a "you fucked up" chant in this day and age of wrestling, and we probably won't get one again for a very long time, but it amused me to no end. So, I mean, it looks like we're getting that rumoured mixed tag match. There's been a rumoured mixed tag match for the last couple of months. There was going to be Stephanie, Triple H versus Ronda Rousey, and a mystery male teammate. So it looks like it's going to be Kurt Angle. So it's going to be Kurt versus Triple H and Stephanie versus Ronda in a mixed tag match, which would be a fun match. Not the most terribly interesting match and not the most technically impressive match, but a fun match nonetheless, and it should be a good way to introduce Ronda Rousey to the WWE universe, the WWE fans. It should be fun. So I'm excited for it. So what do you guys think about that one? Let me know in the comments below. So then we get to the main event, the men's chamber match, which was basically just let's build up Braun Strowman, give him everything in this match, make Braun Strowman look amazing, give him everything except for the result. It reminds me a lot of the 2003 Elimination Chamber with Goldberg. If you haven't seen it, I did a reaction on it, so go have a look at that. So basically what happened in that match was Goldberg eliminated Chris Jericho, HBK, and Randy Orton, and then when it came to actually facing Triple H at the end, he got hit with a sledgehammer. Triple H won. So basically Goldberg looked amazing, destroying everyone, was a monster, and destroyed everyone, and then lost. And that's pretty much what happened here. Braun Strowman took everyone's finishers, took a frog splash off the pod, took a 4-man powerbomb, took pretty much everything, and then eventually just took 2 spears from Roman Reigns and it was over. So it was kind of anticlimactic. Braun even eliminated 5 men from out of the match. Out of the 6 possible competitors he could have eliminated, he eliminated 5 of them and then lost to 2 spears at the end. I'm not salty at Roman Reigns. I just feel like booking like this is why people don't like Roman Reigns. I don't think it's his fault. I feel like it's the booking people. I feel like if you wanted Roman Reigns to win and go to WrestleMania, you should have made him look a bit more strong. It felt like Braun did all the work and then Roman Reigns just picked up the win at the end. That's what it felt like to me, anyway. I might have a totally different opinion to everyone else, but that's what I felt like. And I'm not sold on Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns Part 2. We've already seen this match. I still think that they should have had Roman versus John Cena and Braun versus Brock at WrestleMania. Those are the 2 matches I think they should have had. But what do I know? I'm not a professional booker. I haven't been booking for 60 years or whatever Vince McMahon's been booking for. So there you go. So interesting stuff. I just want to know where Braun's got to go from here. After such an amazing showing in the Elimination Chamber, it'd be very strange for him to just not have a match at WrestleMania or to go for the Intercontinental Championship, which is the rumored one. It just seems a bit of a step down. What do you guys think is gonna happen to Braun? But yeah, let me know in the comments below. So those are all the matches. I enjoyed the Elimination Chamber, but it wasn't my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I felt like it was extremely predictable. That's its downside. It was very predictable. The 2 Elimination Chambers matches were fun, but everything else felt like it could be a Raw. They had a Ronda Rousey segment on Raw this week, which was pretty much the same segment, more or less, slightly different, which worked just as well. And Ronda seemed to be more comfortable in the Raw one as the Elimination Chamber. So that, like, the segment didn't really matter there. And the Barface titles are worldwide on Raw in a best 2 out of 3 falls match, which was better than the match they had at Elimination Chamber. And Matt Hardy versus Bray was meh. So, I mean, like, it's all that. Basically, the 2 Elimination Chambers were fun. The rest of the show just felt like Raw. It just felt like a Raw episode. So it didn't really live up to my expectations. Plus, I felt like the predictability of the 2 Elimination Chambers kind of brought it down as well, because we knew who was going to win both. As I said, I even predicted the order of the eliminations in the women's one. Like, that's how predictable the show was. So I'm going to give it a 3 stars. I was going to give it 3.5, but I've changed my mind. I'm giving it 3 stars out of 5. Average show. It was 2 decent Elimination Chambers, which were mired down by the fact they were very predictable. And the rest of the show was kind of just filler, it felt like. So that's my personal opinion on the show. What do you guys think? Did you really enjoy Elimination Chamber? Did you really hate Elimination Chamber? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, too sweet. Latest, guys.
Join Potato Club today and too sweet that subscribe button.